I still feel like we're, all in the feels just for how the weekend ended, just because overall, that Friday night match, we're grateful to make it to the Saturday game. That was Mines played an awesome game, and it was emotional, and it was the first time we've been tested in a while. But I think it was a blessing a little bit because it set us up for, just a good follow-up on Saturday's match against Metro. I mean, Metro and us we're very similar. We run the same type of system, a 6'2", strong hitters, and so we knew it was going to be a brutal matchup and a really fun game to play. But our girls really executed the game plan well.
Last year was a Cinderella type thing, in a way. This year it seemed like, man, this team's focused, and this is where you knew you should be.
For sure. I feel like last year was like the turn, if you will, that we were looking for as just far as like our girls believing that we can be a national contender. And so, yeah, we could maybe put Cinderella. I even feel like last year's team was like, man, we weren't done, at the national quarterfinal. But this year, we are loving and riding a little bit on the experience, but the new players that are helping us contribute to what we're doing right now, they're just growing at an exponential rate, and they're not playing too emotional. They're just playing in the moment. And so I just feel very fortunate of just the mindset the team has right now.
I feel like kind of maybe it was like a chip on your shoulder because you guys stayed at 11 for weeks and weeks and weeks and were dominating conference play. Everyone else, we know what's going on.
Oh yeah, we'll use anything to add to that chip, on the shoulder, and but we also don't want to get too caught up in it because we understand that their opinions and a lot of it's maybe statistically based and a lot of timing with those rankings. So it's nice to get like some attention there, but honestly, we're not riding and dying on that in any way. But yeah, I mean, any kind of motivation that we can use is good.
And then we all saw that, post-game locker room extravaganza on Twitter. Just describe those emotions that you had post-game with your team.
I think that was just a classic release of like, we did it. And that's what I tell the girls, like, let's not move too quickly on to Elite Eight. We'll get ourselves prepared and ready to go. But the reason why we play sports and do these things and prepare and practice and early mornings and late nights is to be able to feel that feeling. And so I think the locker room shower is definitely one of those things. And that's why they do this, to find joy. And they were able to do that. And so, I don't know, it's just really fun to see, student athletes be able to just kick back and have a good time after a huge win.
Going back to the Metro game, what did you kind of feel like you guys were in control? It seemed like that first set was dominated, but you were in control.
For sure. I mean, we knew Metro had a little bit of a slow start, and they had the same kind of start the night before, and we saw them climb right out of it. And so we were very cognizant that we forced them into some of those errors, but they're a great team. They could have flipped at any moment. And some players that are characteristically like high hitting percentage, and they were struggling, or they were at least feeding into our defense. And so that was nice. But after set one, we were like, let's just reset. Let's use that as momentum, but let's not ride on that. And they did. They got cleaner as they went. And so, you always got to respect the team regardless of that first set, because we were the same way against Mines. We had a super slow start. And so we don't want to play too much into that momentum necessarily. We'll be aware of it, but we're just going to play that present point that we have ahead of us.
Obviously just found out the 3 seed with the game. Time to process that. What did you
Literally just learned that. I'm really grateful for wherever we were going to be put in the tournament. We are happy to get a chance to get to play again. But yeah, being the 3 seed is it's exciting, and Wingate's a very good team. We watched them online yesterday, and they rightfully won out their region. And so I'm really excited to learn more about them, start studying them, and prep like we always have this season.
You guys didn't lose a lot this season, but one of those early season losses came to this same MSU Denver team. Was there anything special about you guys coming back and getting that over them, especially the way you did it, getting that sweep over again, the number 1 team in the country?
For sure. So when we met them, it was the second week of season, and we were still trying to figure out a lot of things, and we're very aware of that. Like we're a completely different team than what we were when we met them first. And so we were kind of excited to see, wow, okay, we fixed a couple of things. We have a little bit more, structure and just predictability in how we play. And so, yeah, we were kind of curious how that was going to allow us to match up. Not at all did we think it was going to be a sweep. We knew it was going to be a very competitive match. But what I personally love about it is that, as a coach, you don't want to be the same team you started as. You don't want to do the same thing you were in week 2 and for the girls to see the tangible changes and differences and how we execute now, it's just really cool. They're seeing the proof, working hard, trying to just take it one day at a time, polish up those skill sets. It's really paid off. And so I think that was the really cool thing about how they learned, like, wow, we've grown a lot since week 2.